Abdul Khaliq Hazara, symbol of hope and freedom. Abdul Khaliq Hazara was born in Daya Folad, a part of Hazarajat in Afghanistan, in 1916 to Mauladad's family. He died in 1933 at the young age of 17 after killing Nadir Khan, a tyrant who had ruled over Afghanistan for 4 years since overthrowing the previous ruler, Abdul Rahman Khan. Nowadays, Khaliq is revered by the Hazaras as a symbol for hope and freedom. This is his story. Like a demon rising from the bog swamp, Nadir Khan rose and cast a hellish pall over Afghanistan. It is well known today that Nadir Khan invited Kalakani, the then ruler, to join him in Kabul so that they could discuss the political upheavals, and had signed an oath on the Quran so that Kalakani would believe he was safe. Unbeknownst to Kalakani that Nadir Khan would sell even his religion to get power, the Tajik ruler accompanied the religious envoy sent by Nadir Khan to Kabul. Once there, he was brutally shot and then hanged. Nadir Khan's trail of evil grew worse from then on. When Nadir Shah seized political power, the first thing he did was execute all the famous or influential people of Afghanistan who were pro-Amanullah Khan. He had them executed indiscriminately. From the Charki family alone, he had 18 members executed, including Ghulam Nabi Khan and Ghulam Jalani Khan, because of political differences. Their brother, Ghulam Sadiq Khan, was out of the country during this time, and so his life was unknowingly spared. Other people who were fortunate enough to escape the hand of Nadir Shah were Ghulam Jalani's wife, Shah Bibi, and his daughters Razia and Rabia. Everyone else was executed. He would not tolerate any support or loyalty anyone had towards Amanullah Khan, regardless of who they were or their standing in society. When Nadir Shah, or one of the criminal stooges from his mercenary army, saw even a wall which had so much as the name of an Amanullah Khan written on it, they turned their cannons loose and destroyed it. Even books were not spared. Bookstores and libraries were torn down just for containing material that had Amanullah Khan's picture or name. Such was the hatred and insecurity Nadir Khan felt towards Amanullah Khan. While he went about executing all the supporters of the former ruler, at the same time he commenced looting the whole north of Afghanistan, because the region was primarily Tajik. Some of the tribes that committed atrocious acts for Nadir Khan were the Zadzai, Mangul, Momand, and many more. With these clans he attacked the northern areas, terrorizing the Tajik homelands. They kidnapped female members of families, pillaged houses, and then burned them down once they had stripped everything of value from it, killing anyone who got in their way, no matter who it was. They stole people's valuables to finance Nadir Khan's campaign. This money was then put to waste. From the country's treasury, Nadir Khan paid large sums of money to have people rewrite current events so that he could go down in history the way he wanted to and keep the truth from printed paper. He had every pro-Amanullah Khan literature destroyed and replaced with his own propaganda, i.e. literature and writings that praised him and his family. Chaos and destruction lay on everyone's doorstep, and not a word of it was to be recorded. The Hazara's curse to bear. Nadir Khan is easily the worst despotic ruler. He was a tyrant, oppressive, and along the lines of Abdul Rahman Khan. Like Abdul Rahman, Nadir Khan had a burning hatred for the Hazara and Shia community of the country. It was as if he was the inheritor of Abdul Rahman's legacy of hatred, and he took it upon himself to continue the former tyrant's system of mass execution and oppression of Hazaras. And later on, Nadir Khan's younger brother, Sardar Hashim, proved to be even worse than Abdul Rahman. Nadir Khan and his Masibin family, who were the former servants of Amanullah Khan, not only betrayed their former boss, but went beyond what was necessary to prove their disloyalty towards him by massacring anyone who spoke even a good word about Amanullah Khan. They had their spies infiltrate the masses to find such support so that they could extinguish any threats of uprisings. Amanullah Khan had massive support among the Hazara people, which is one of the reasons why Nadir Khan hated the Hazaras so much. Because of this support, Nadir Khan used the most brutal methods to oppress and kill the Hazaras. Several generations of Hazara people endured the torturous reign of Nadir Khan. It still lives in their memories. The younger generation, who were lucky to have survived, told their narratives and stories of the barbaric acts they witnessed against their own people. For years, the Hazaras were enslaved and lost their very livelihood. They were forced to abandon their homes and went into the mountains to seek refuge. Those who stayed behind in their villages and towns said they felt the oppression descend heavily over their town like a shadow. They knew there were spies of Nadir Khan around them, but were not able to tell who they were. Their river ran thick with blood instead of water. The very air they breathed felt contaminated with obvious hatred, and they lived in fear, not knowing which day would be their last. This misery had befallen their community for a long time, and the Hazaras knew no other life but that of suffering. The former ruler, Amanullah Khan, was a secular, open-minded king. He advocated reforms and the modernization of the country, and he was a friend to the Hazaras. Through his presidential decree, he banned the slavery of Hazaras. This was a huge relief and a great moment in history for the Hazaras who have suffered under the tyrannical hand of former rulers like Abdul Rahman. However, this celebratory abolishment was short-lived. In the time of Nadir Khan and of his brother Sardar Hashim Khan, who succeeded him, all the social injustices returned. Once again, it was a dark time for the Hazaras, but this time it seemed like Nadir Khan was taking out a personal vendetta against the Hazara people. Aside for punishing them for supporting Amanullah Khan, it was as if he wanted to punish them for even existing in the first place. The Hazaras' suffering grew tenfold for every minute moment of happiness they might have known in the past. They had no political representation, and therefore their pleas and protests fell on deaf ears. Who was there to witness the terrorization of the Hazaras? Nadir Khan and his family of marauders threw innocent Hazaras down wells, kept them in cages, and left them to rot in jail. Even non-Hazara politicians who tried to bring about even a small change or show a hint of support towards the Hazaras were not spared. It was a dark time for social justice indeed. For a little over a century, the Hazaras have been treated in the most inhumane way possible, oppressed by the likes of Abdul Rahman to the fascistic government of Nadir Khan, Zahir Khan, Dawood and Hashim Khan. They were condemned racially and religiously, with no chance of defending themselves. The governmental policy towards the Hazaras was to kill the male family children until they cursed the name of Hazara. The policy was aimed at destroying the whole social structure of the Hazaras by wreaking havoc on their life, driving them out of their ancestral land and denying them their identity. These policies were so severe and harsh that it made the Hazaras seem like criminals. It came to be that it was a curse to be a Hazara. The very name Hazara was the equivalent of a social curse, forever stigmatized. They were collectively seen and treated like second-class citizens. Later on, in the time of Hashim Khan's premiership, a decree was issued which banned the children of Hazaras from attending higher educational institutions and military and police academies. They were also denied scholarship funds and employment opportunities in the Foreign Ministry, Intelligence Agency and government institutions. These tyrant rulers literally kept 1/4 of the country's population oppressed